Okay, this video is going to be the first in a series of videos about equations of lines, mostly working examples with finding the equation of a line given some information about that line, and then also some problems, maybe given an equation of a line, tell me some information about that line. And so this first video is just going to be a quick overview of the three most common forms of a line that we're going to be working with here. And then in the following videos, we're going to work some examples. Some of this stuff may be a little confusing at first, but after you see some examples, it shouldn't be too bad, hopefully. So the first big point is the slope of a line. The slope of a line we always call m. And slope is given by change in y over change in x. So say that you're given 2 points that lie on that line. So you're given 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2, that lie on any given line. You can calculate the slope using this formula here, y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. And we'll get plenty of practice using this formula. But normally when you're trying to find the equation of a line, your first step is going to be to figure out the slope. So the first form of a line that we're going to look at is called slope-intercept form. That has the form y equals mx plus b, where of course m is your slope, calculated how we did above there, and then b is going to be the y-intercept, and you will see some examples of that when we work with slope-intercept form. Another form that's very common is this standard form. So you have ax plus by equals c, where a, b, and c are just numbers. However, there's some rules that go with standard form where a has to be positive, so this leading term here has to be a positive number. And then a, b, and c have to all be integers, meaning that there's no decimals or fractions allowed. If you end up with a fraction, it should be able to be reduced down to a integer. Something that I want to highlight between slope-intercept and standard form is standard form is just a variation of slope-intercept form. Say that we have y equals mx plus b. So m and b can be any numbers. We just have a line in slope-intercept form. If we subtract mx from both sides, we end up with negative mx plus y equals b. And then from here we're pretty much in standard form. We have our a term out in front of the x. This y can also have a term out in front of the y, so this would be our b term. So b in this case would be 1 for this specific example. And then we have our c. And then we're going to work with some examples later on how to actually get rid of this negative and how to make sure that we follow these rules that go along with standard form. So slope-intercept form and standard form are kind of connected. However, point-slope form, while there are some connections between point-slope form, slope-intercept, and standard form, I like to think of point-slope form as kind of a separate form. Point-slope form is also, after you get it down, probably the easiest form to work with. So point-slope has the form y minus y naught equals m, which is our slope, times x minus x naught times x minus x naught. So y naught and x naught, this is going to be any ordered pair, any point that lies on that line. So y naught and x naught are just get plugged in here, and then you find your slope just like we did above here, and then you can plug that in right there. So in the next videos, we're going to be doing examples where we're given information about a line, and then we find the equation of that line in all three of these forms. So after those examples, hopefully this concept starts making some sense.